Malika Andrews from ESPN.
Steve, can you just start by quantifying the feeling and James Hardens' game tonight?
Yeah, the feeling. The feeling is, one of excitement to move on and to face a great challenge in Milwaukee and to get prepared and to go do it again. So we're excited for the next step and the next challenge. And James was was great tonight. Obviously, he's another triple double and controlled the game, made shots, and made his teammates better. So he was terrific.
And then secondly, I'm just wondering how much have you watched? How much have you already been pouring into on Milwaukee? And Milwaukee is a team that keeps a tally on their board of how many games they've left to win. Do you guys do anything like that?
I think we all can do the quick math. For us, we just want to focus on the next game, and we've our staff has already started scouting, and we'll have a game plan prepared and have these guys ready to go for Saturday.
Bruce Beck with NBC New York.
Steve, that fourth quarter burst up 97-89, and then it's Durant, Kyrie, Harden all burying threes. What was it like to watch that unfold?
Yeah, it was great. It was nice to get that final bit of separation and to effectively end the series. Proud of all the guys who put the effort in and made this go. Obviously, the big three were sensational, but it really takes a team effort. Whether the guys are in the rotation and playing their role or they're not and they're on the bench and they're just trying to know the game plan and support their teammates. It really is a team effort, and I thought our complementary players did a great job.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, I got two. Since you're playing Milwaukee on Saturday, are you the kind of guy that's going to grab a coffee and spend the night pouring into the Bucks right now, or are you going to go to bed and worry about it first thing tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. We've got a lot of stuff prepared already, so we'll start reviewing it and sorting it and getting into a place that we can, share with the players and get ourselves in a position to compete on Saturday.
And then I know you said Jeff would be reevaluated in 10 days. I saw he's out of the boot. I'm just curious if you have any update on him.
No update on Jeff. I believe he's progressing well, but it's not one of those things where we have an update, nor is it a completely linear injury, but things are positive or moving in a positive direction.
Ryan Lewis with the New York Post.
Hey, Steve, I know this is something you addressed 100 times already, but the big three, in terms of their chemistry, are they in a better place chemistry-wise working together than they were, say, 2 weeks ago? Or is this just a case of great players being able to turn it on and do great things in the playoffs?
I think a little bit of both. I think that they are getting further along, every time out, whether it's good or bad performance, whether it's cohesive or not. I think it leads itself to more growth, more understanding, more cohesion. And then some of it is they're just terrific players and are able to take over the game in stretches individually. So a little bit of both, and we're going to need both, frankly, to continue to get better.
Ian O'Connor with the New York Post.
Yeah, Steve, obviously a lot of people around the league are going to look at this series with Milwaukee as potentially a classic series. What do you think is the one thing you would need to do to beat them in that series?
It's difficult to say one thing. If I had to say one thing, I always like to lean on mental toughness, being able to have the resolve to continue to work, to fight, to persevere, no matter if the game's going well or not, and just sticking with it, never giving up, never giving an inch, and giving yourself a chance on the mental side to compete fully. But of course, technically, there's a bunch of things that you'd want to go well for your side to have the upper hand.
Steve Lichtenstein with WFAN.
Hey, Steve, obviously the big three are the story, but you mentioned the complementary players, Bruce Brown being one of them. I mean, can you talk about the importance
You kept cutting out, but I think you were talking about the complementary players and Bruce Brown. Bruce was great. He had a few really good games in the series. I think he's able to change the game with, how the energy and pace he plays at. Defensively, he covers different positions and is physical. He rebounds, and offensively, he's a kind of a dynamic roller for a guard that's able to be a bit of a five on offense. So he gives us a different look. He's able to finish or pass, but his speed and burst getting in and out of screens is great. So Bruce was terrific. He's a big part of what we do, and you could say the same of all the guys that got in the game. They all had their moments where we really needed them, and they came through.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach. First, congratulations on the playoff series victory. I'm curious as to how you look at this series when you consider, obviously, this is a team that doesn't have Jaylen Brown and then didn't have Kemba Walker and Robert Williams for the last two games. Do you kind of take the positives with a grain of salt at all, or are the positives still positives no matter who's on the other side of the floor?
Yeah, I think we look at ourselves. We recognize that they're a team that was really banged up. They weren't at their best physically, and we understand and accept that. We're not proclaiming that this was, anything to celebrate because they had so many injuries. But we did the job, and we spent time together preparing, playing, competing, getting better, and they still pose some really difficult problems with us. Thompson on the glass, and obviously Tatum scoring the ball. So we can only play what's in front of us. We were able to get through the first round, and now we have to continue to improve. That's just the nature of this team. We're not a finished product. We got to get better every day and get ourselves in a position to improve throughout the next series.
Back to Brian Lewis with the Post.
Hey, Steve, I'm curious, do you get the vibe that Kyrie was happy to just have this whole Boston series behind him? You get the idea that he was relishing playing a team that he had a complicated history with and beating them? What do you think kind of tact he was taking toward this?
I don't know. We never really spoke about it, that he played there and what that felt like. I think he relishes the opportunity to play in the playoffs and play in big games. And, that's just the type of player he is. He's an incredible basketball player who loves the big stage and when the lights are on. So, I think he just was happy to be in a playoff environment playing basketball. And I'm not sure, though, how much more it meant because it was the Celtics. We never really spoke about it. We just try to stay focused on the task at hand and not worry about the extracurricular stuff. But, it may have been more special to him because of his history with there. But, this is his time of year when he loves to play, when the lights are bright and the competition means the most.
Last question, back to Malika Andrews.
Steve, can you just describe what stands out to you, what makes Giannis so difficult and special?
His athleticism, the size, length, agility, strength, explosiveness, coupled with an ability to handle the ball, finish, pass, and defend. He's so versatile. He can do so many things on the floor to affect a game that, it's not, what makes him great is not one thing. It's the 4 or 5 things he excels at, both ends of the floor.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.